Hello, and welcome to our brief professional development course for incoming English as Second Language teachers. As a group, Guadalupe, Zara, and I will cover three main areas relating to WIDA and its applications. Firstly, I will help outline the WIDA Consortium, its standards, and how TSLN teachers will utilize this resource in their future classrooms. Secondly, my colleague Guadalupe will provide some sample assessments that could be applied to a 4th grade EL classroom. These examples assess reading comprehension in various means. In the final segment of our presentation, Zara will analyze our assessments in terms of validity, reliability, authenticity, and practicality. Throughout the video, be sure to reference our professional development handout for useful links to the WIDA website, pictures of our assessments, and other useful links for TSLN teachers. To start off, what is the WIDA Consortium? WIDA initially stood for Wisconsin, Delaware, and Arkansas, which were the three original states that were the recipients of an educational grant for this consortium. After a change in the group members, the name was adapted to World-Class Instructional Design and Assessment and has led to them now being a global influence in the teaching and assessment of English as Second Language classrooms. The purpose of the WIDA Consortium is to provide assessments, proficiency standards, and professional development courses for English language teachers. In their proficiency standards, WIDA breaks down an EL's proficiency level into 6 categories ranging from level 1 entering through level 6 reaching. As seen here, an example strand from the WIDA guidelines for a language of science section that focuses on listening skills within this content is given. Levels 1 through 5 are detailed by level of proficiency with WIDA's can-do descriptors, and level 6, reaching, is able to demonstrate all of these skills. These can-do descriptors outline a path of language development and are very useful for teachers, so let's examine how to use them a little more in detail. The can-do descriptors, as outlined from the WIDA website, highlight what learners can do at various stages of language development as they engage in various contexts. These can-do descriptors are helpful for diagnosing which WIDA level your students are at and then to modify lesson plans and approaches to best suit your students. The can-do descriptors often come as examples that can be modified for your particular class subjects and language proficiency levels. As taken from the 2012 WIDA English Language Development Standards, the can-do descriptors are also referred to as model performance indicators, which have 3 parts. 1. Language functions, 2. Content STEM, and 3. Instructional support. Language functions are viewed as either reading, writing, listening, or speaking. The content STEM is the integration of state standards or Common Core standards that provide the content for the lesson. For a concrete example, looking at the example strand that we used earlier, the content STEM would be earth science, and the language skills are rooted in listening. Thirdly, instructional support entails how the activity or task is scaffolded for learners. Things like realia, working with a partner, using graphic organizers, or having the choice of using first or second language are examples of instructional support. Looking at Figure K from the 2012 WIDA English Development Standards, we can see how they outline the 3 different types of support: sensory supports, graphic supports, and interactive supports, along with providing some useful examples as well. Now that the WIDA Consortium and how their English development standards are useful for ESL teachers has been discussed, the next topic will be the WIDA Access Test for English learners. From the 2013 WIDA Overview of the WIDA Consortium, Assessments in English Language Development Standards, the Access Test is described as a large-scale test that is rooted in the 5 WIDA English Language Development Standards: social and instructional language, and the language of language arts, mathematics, science, and social studies. This test is administered once per year and assesses English learners' proficiency in academic language across the 4 domains of reading, writing, speaking, and listening. Although there are different specifications of how this test is to be completed for each grade from K to 12, the WIDA Access 2.0 test is available in online and paper-based assessment forms. Some domains are tested consecutively, but not all on the same day, and sometimes the preparation and testing process for annual access tests can durate for a full week of class. The purpose of this access test is to assess EL's proficiency levels to then shape future instruction, language development, and assessment. For more information about the Access 2.0 test as it pertains to particular grade levels, advantages of online and paper assessments, how to prepare students and educators for this test, and more information, visit the WIDA website and click on the Assess tab to read further. In the final segment of overview for what the WIDA Consortium can offer educators with WIDA memberships, We will now briefly look into their professional development courses. By going to the WIDA homepage and clicking on the Grow tab, a list of various offerings for professional development within TESOL appears. Both US-based and international courses are offered, which include workshops, symposia, annual conferences, and institutes for further learning within the TESOL field, along with professional development offerings for teachers of Spanish.